From a super secret location deep within the mountains of Colorado, it's time to strap up, strap in, or strap on with your host, Shenanigans in One Shot. It's From the Ashes Radio!
Do you know how many compliments we get on that, on that part of the show?
My hair.
The two compliments we get the most is on that introduction that Philip Blackman created. Thank you, Phil. And of course, your flow.
God, you in
what? Whoa. There.
Oh my goodness. Now your head's cut off. Hold on.
Exactly. Look, and it's a stout head to begin with.
We're good.
We're good. I'm glad that.
But yeah, his intro is better than our show.
I agree completely. It's my favorite
and I'm
part.
tired of hearing it like all the time.
Let's talk about me.
So great, the intro. And I'm like, it's been on there for months.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the rest of the show?
No. I shut it off after that. It was great. I love it. What's been going on, man? How you been?
Just living the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is I love that you upgraded the security and IT protocols here at the super secret location.
Yes. New antennas, new fiber optic underground things. There's some claymores out there too, but
I understood every third word you just said.
I don't even know what I'm talking about. Hey, we have incredible Wi-Fi again out here.
I see that, and damn, we look good because of it too. So yeah, pretty banging, man.
We're clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you we sound better today too.
I'll bet we. Good call. Monte Wiley is watching. Do we know that person?
Very well.
Really?
Brother.
I love when we get people. Yeah.
You didn't meet him when he came out, did he?
Mm-mm.
Did you?
No.
He came out 2 years ago.
No, I've met like your mom and that side of the family, but I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah. So no.
He taught a seminar like 2 years ago out here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Too cool for school.
So what's new with you?
I constantly get messages from people. Dude, what's up with this Joel Hunt guy? I get them like every day. And the latest one was like you ever read the book A Warrior's Garden?
No, I don't think so.
The guy's name is.
I think I know what book you're talking about, though.
Yeah, the guy's name is Malachus. And he's like a professional musician. He's written books. He helps soldiers build gardens and, as like therapy and whatnot. Yeah, dude reached out. He's like, dude, what's up with this guy? So I told him the whole story, and he's like, he keeps sending me messages. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, I said, hey, man, have at it. He's all yours. And that dude, barrel, that's exactly what he did. And it was really funny. So I knew that would warm your heart a little bit.
That's good. I don't ever get asked about him.
Man, that is really good.
Hey, I know. That's Walmart. No. Yeah, that was some Walmart iced tea. It's delicious.
It's perfect.
I know. It's super good.
Nothing exciting or new. Trying to think here. What do we got coming up? We're booking some really good guests. I'm working hard to get Rocco Vargas on again. Yep. We have Visionary Veterans next week, which is going to be really good. All that trippy stuff. But yeah, we got some really good guests coming up and some cool stuff. So I'm excited. We're on a very, very good path. It's going to be a good fall for us. But other than that, nothing overly exciting. We may or may not have Allie. I haven't heard back from O'Connell Westlaw if they're going to make it tonight.
That's fine.
We're about to have some new sponsors too. C3 Drywall out of Castle Rock. I don't know if you know. So you may know Eric Druva. Eric Druva is dude, the guy has to put his arms down, has to walk through doors sideways because he's so stacked. Bless you, by the way. His wife, Katie, likes the show and owns a drywall company. And we want to support her, and because she helps veterans out. And so, yeah, she wants to help us out. So the good things coming from there. I'm going to some gala on the 24th of August for something. I'm not really sure, but hey, we'll see what comes of it. But yeah, I do what I'm told.
Right.
So later tonight, we're going to talk to Ted Snyder, who's going to talk to us about hormones in veterans and like your testosterone and all that stuff. I know this is something that's near and dear to your heart. You put a lot of focus on that kind of stuff. And then we'll see where it goes from there. But in the meantime,
what we've all been waiting for.
yes, exactly. Were you
Folks,
able to pull them up, or do you
This is
even
what
need
I
to?
hear the most about the show, secondary to Total Black Minutes, Carl stuff.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
send
And
me all kinds of stuff.
I love when people have no idea what I'm talking about, and then they go to Google and they're like, "Is this real?" And I'm like, "Yes, it's fucking real. I'm not creative. I'm not good at making stuff up.
If you say Private Carl to someone that was not in the military,
I leave that up to creative people like
He's a creative. I never would have thought of that way.
He's creative. He comes up with some wild stories.
It's true.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're okay. But people in the military, when you say Private Carl, they know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, absolutely, yep, absolutely. But people outside of the military are like, oh, Private Carl. They're like, should I know who that is? Mm-hmm. Think of it as Murphy.
Yeah, Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was just Private Murphy. Why did we pick Carl rather than Murphy?
Why did we? I don't know.
I didn't pick anything in the Army.
Yeah.
My generation did not pick things. That was way before us. But which one would you like to do first?
The one you have. I see.
We have. Well, no, there's two.
Yeah.
One's the military guy.
Yeah.
One's the non-military. Which one would you like to do first? Don't say the one I have pulled up. So which one do you think would lead to the? Do we want to end with angry or super angry, or what the fuck is the matter with our country? I guess that's on both of them. So
start with the military one.
Okay.
Because it cracks me. Yeah.
That's when we're at. So for those of you that either just need a refresher or reminder, a gentleman by the name of, I'm using it loosely, gentleman, Bo Bergdahl, in 2009, actually to be exact, he was in Afghanistan. He disappeared from his base in June of 2009 and was held in captivity by the Taliban until May 2014. 5 years with the Taliban. Now, you have been around those Taliban. Let's say an American soldier is with them and they come back. What condition are they going to be in?
Just destroyed.
Yeah, missing appendages, fingers, arms, legs, toes. He came back just fine.
Yep.
Totally fine.
Yep.
So,
didn't we trade him for like pallets of cash?
Also, there's more to
it. Sorry.
There were multiple casualties trying to save him.
Yes.
Of U.S.
Servicemen gave their lives.
Gave their fucking lives trying to save this dude, right? Then we ended up trading detainees from Guantanamo Bay to get him back from the Taliban. So we get him back. Lo and behold, I'm not going to get details because I still feel like the story is like so gray and unknown but either way, comes back, investigation, charged with desertion. Okay.
Execution. The only answer.
I thought that's what we do. Deserters get whacked. Right then and there, too. But either way. Okay, so right then and there.
Would the defendant please rise? Pow! Exactly.
He pleaded guilty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pleaded guilty in exchange for no prison time. He gets a dishonorable discharge, and he has to pay $10,000. Oh, wait. They took him from sergeant to private. Okay. Dishonorable discharge, and he has to pay back $10,000 of his salary. $10K. That doesn't seem like enough.
Yeah. For other soldiers to have lost their lives.
Yeah, but when until they got him there, she's still getting paid.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I'll bet you if you look at his rack, he's wearing a POW ribbon.
This is Bo Bergdahl. This is not Joel Hunt.
I knew that would get you.
All right. So now,
Holly Miller, thanks for listening to the show.
Something that is very rare, if not unheard of, basically unheard of. They went from military court to federal court for their appeal.
Can't figure out why.
Federal court, right? No, military law, civilian law, two different worlds. Federal court overturned the ruling. Okay.
It's making my bones like crack as you tell the story.
Because during the trial, the colonel that was presiding as the judge had applied for a civilian job post him getting out. What the fuck does that have to do with him pleading guilty? Now, I believe if we'd gone into this, they'd had a trial. He swore up and down he did not do it. Pled not guilty. I did not do
Whole other
this.
thing.
We're in a different story. This dude said, yes, I did it. He signed off on it. He admitted it. What does it even accomplish? He's still the same guy. Like the judge doing job. I don't care. It's crap. It's insane. And I hope to God nobody gives him a job. Don't hire him. Don't walk by him on the street and be nice to him. I'm not kicking his feet out from underneath him every time I see him. If I saw him, I just follow him kicking his feet out from underneath him.
He was he was pre-trial at San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
And I just can't imagine this dude walking around Fort Sam Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
And like how would you, like, if you saw this dude walk into the PX, your overwhelming urge, because you know so much, is to walk up and just drill him in the face.
Yes.
Like how, man? How? That just walked off his installation.
Mm-hmm.
And we only think of the soldiers that gave their lives in an effort to find them. We're not even considering the soldiers that were injured,
Mm-hmm.
whose lives are permanently changed because of this asshole.
Again, we're ending up with execution, but
Yeah.
we need manslaughter
He's
charges.
a dirtbag, and we should have left his ass over there.
Right. All these wonderful things. Cheese and rice, people. Like
Cheese and rice, he says.
And this shows right now the issues that we have in our country, the culture we have in our country. Right? With that,
I agree completely with that
50 years
statement.
ago? No. 50 years ago, I mean, nobody's okay with this.
Yeah.
Right?
Where is
Not
George
today.
Patton? Where is our modern George Patton?
So
should we save the other one for the end of the show, or you want to keep going with? I love this next one. Keep going. Ted's fine. I can see Ted in the green room. He's fine. We'll keep him where he is. He's all right.
I'm sure he'll be able to chime in something.
Yeah, let's bring him in for this. Actually, that's a good idea. Here, let's do that. Hang on. I see he's ready. Ted, how are you, man?
Hey, good. Hey, yeah. I was in the AO right next to that bitch. And are we allowed to cuss on this thing?
No, you can't fucking swear information, dude.
All right. Yeah. So I was in the AO right next to him. Our guys had to go out and look for him too, and we had a couple guys injured. We didn't lose anybody, but we had 3 or 4 injured hitting IDs. So
how do you feel about the very small consequences? Because I feel like being dropped rank, dishonorably discharged, and 10,000, repaying 10,000 of your salary is and no jail time is pretty minuscule.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can't believe they turned it over. He basically got off free anyway.
He got off free anyway. Now we're going to overturn it, and we
way.
give him a $10,000 check and honorable discharge. How do you feel about that?
And a cushy position at Lockheed?
Yeah.
What the heck? Hey, Michael Kane, what is the football player? What do you got going on there?
It's a new corgi, man. He's trying to set dominance here in the house, I guess. Small zoo.
Dude, are you not going to bring a new puppy on the show?
Oh, my goodness.
You realize ratings shot through the roof, right?
That's freaking Baby Yoda right there, man.
You just need to tell the cue in a Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah,
song.
in the arms of the angels.
Yeah, man. He got out, and I still don't understand what that has to do. That judge's job has to do with anything. And then, like you said, he had already pled guilty, so the judge just ruled, okay, you're guilty. I mean, there was no case, wasn't presiding over anything.
That's the big factor there, where it doesn't matter. Dude, accepted it. This is what I did. Done. So either way, that sucks. But the next one's even crazier.
There.
So California murderer gets first taxpayer-funded sex change surgery. So a little bit of backstory.
I love all the files you have open.
I have lots of files. I'm telling you, it took me hours to believe this. I was Googling multiple days, like looking through all these different news reports. Like, this can't be real.
This is what we do on this show, Ted. Sorry.
So, Jason Michael Hand. He was sentenced to death in 2014 for murdering his 2 babies. Okay. Let me go back to the other one because you got to hear a little bit of how nasty. Convicted of first-degree murder, kidnapping, robbery for ransom.
Just an all-around not nice person.
Yeah, and like the way he murdered his babies, and by babies I mean not like little baby children, 2 of them. Like one of them he stuffed in a box. Like we're talking dysfunctional, like beat them to death. Okay. So then good old, let's see here. Jason Michael Hand is in prison. Okay.
Not where
prolonging his death sentence over, et cetera, right? He decides that he now identifies as a woman.
Okay.
So now Jessica Marie Hand, okay, after evaluation, was moved into a female prison. So they moved him into a female prison. He renamed himself, and now what I could not find is the exact numbers, but California taxpayer dollars at some level are going to be paying for him to get a breast augmentation.
The dude is getting a boob job?
He's getting a boob job.
What is it that the movie Ted taught us?
I don't know. What did it teach us?
There are no chicks with dicks. It's only dudes with tits.
Exactly.
So, I almost said on here, I hope this offends somebody because tickle my booty hole. I almost did this whole thing and said, "Can you guess what state is finding this acceptable behavior?" And because we all
so you can't because you're going to get kicked off Facebook and you need it.
Really murdered his children. Let's move him to a female prison, and then let's give him some free boobies. Like, what? Where's this happening in America? So I said I can't make this stuff up, but I really couldn't be that creative.
That's why the super secret location is so important, and our underground bunker. I get it, dude. It's very important. Ted, before we started the show, I was sitting in the galley at the super secret location, and I was explaining how you and I know each other. And I was explaining that you used to have a full head of hair before you had
It was an afro back then.
It was flowing and lush and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm true to form after 20 some odd years. I feel like I owe you multiple apologies for your hairline now.
Yeah, that was definitely had a good full head of hair until Rob Williams joined the unit and came to my team. Shit just started falling out. I don't know if I never really put 2 and 2 together, but
clumps in the shower and stuff.
Yeah. Could be.
So Ted, let's start at the beginning. Tell us about your military service to start.
Woo! All right. So I did 24 years total. Originally, right after high school, I went into college, did a semester of college, and a buddy came back from the reserves and told me how cool it was. I was in a small town, and I was like, hey, man, get a little bit of adventure and get some college money. Joined the reserves, was going to college, wasn't really interested in studying, just kind of looking for ladies and drinking beer. So got called up for Desert Storm. Yes, I'm that old. I just said, hey, I'll stay active duty. So, son of a bitch. Hey.
This is the best interview we've ever done.
Food fight, man. Food fight. So, I bounced around, did a little bit here and there. Figured I'd go in for my 4 years to get out, straighten myself out. And I don't know, man. I either got promoted, got a cool school. I was definitely a school whore. Every time they said, anybody want to go TDY, I raised my hand. So I did it all. Hazardous materials, packaging and shipping, and you name it, man, did it all. So, and then the wars kicked off. Rob came over to me just before the wars. We were flight medics at the time and loved it. Did that tour, came back, did a stint on a anti-terrorism team, weapons of mass destruction. And then I went to PA school and the military PA school, which is the best damn program the military has to offer. Went there, got my PA. He became an officer, sorry, and sort of, kind of. I was a PA, but then retired. A few more years later, I was here at Fort Carson. They told me I had to go take command of a company at 10th Cash, and I said, I'm a PA, dude. And they're like, yeah, well, we got to do this other stuff. So I told them I'd just retire, and they didn't believe me. So I put in my retirement paperwork, and that was that, man. So now I'm here. Got out, didn't know what a civilian PA did, tell you the honest goodness truth. I only wanted to be an Army PA, man. I knew what it was like working with the medics, or when I was a medic, working with my PA. So I looked around, didn't know what to do. I did a year with the State Department, contracted with them, and went to Iraq. And then there I wound up running medical operations. Came back here and still didn't know what I was going to do. And there was a job at the Low T Center, and they wanted someone to manage it and open it up. So I did, and got kind of interested in men's health. Did that for 3 years there. Then went to urgent care thinking that I was missing out on something. And I realized I really wasn't. So I went back to men's health, and I've been at Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic for the past 7 years, almost 8 years.
So tell it something near and dear to our hearts. Tell us about Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic and what it is that you do there and what they do.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it. So we do men's health, and we specialize in erectile dysfunction and hormone replacement therapy. So at first, at the Low T Center, they took insurance. Then insurance started changing all the rules and everything on this testosterone stuff. I mean, testosterone is fantastic for us, right? And you would think, oh, insurance companies really want to give you something that's going to help prevent heart attacks and strokes, right? No, they're insurance companies. They'd rather you hold off and see if you really do have a heart attack or a stroke, right? So, so they stopped funding it. The VA kind of slid down on it as well. So at Rocky Mountain Men's, we're a concierge medicine practice. We only take cash, and so we have some financing stuff like that options. But at first, I felt a little weird about it, and then I was reminded by a girlfriend at the time. She said, "This is a quality of life issue, man. It's all about a quality of life." And I can't tell you how many times that I've talked to my front desk staff saying, "Look, you got to be nice to everybody who walks in. That dude comes in, he's all grumpy and pissy. He's probably got low testosterone, man. That's what happens when you have low T." I go, well, as soon as we correct his testosterone, I go, he's probably going to be your favorite patient. And it's happened time and time again. You change people's lives. I've had guys, we've helped them with their testosterone. I've had other guys who help with erectile dysfunction. They go on second honeymoons. They send us postcards. The wives send us cookies. We get wives call us up all the time. They're like, if you stop taking this testosterone.
No. You're not going to gloss over that. That's not going to work. You're not just going to gloss over the cookie comment. No.
One lady, every Christmas, she makes peanut brittle. Oh my God, it's good.
That's the best comment we've heard in a very long time.
It's definitely a perk of the job, man.
I bet it is. That's excellent, dude.
But no, Rob, you were, I don't know if you ever thought about it, but doing emergency medicine, there's times where, you've had to run a code on a dude who's down for a long time, right? And you're like, do I do it? But it's your job to do it, right? And then you're wondering what kind of quality of life is he going to have afterwards? And that's something I always struggle with through my whole career, especially in Afghanistan. I had kids, both arms, both legs. I had one kid, both arms, both legs, lost his testicles and the majority of his penis. Was a good-looking, young, solid Ranger, and loved the ladies. The ladies loved him, and I was sad when we saved him, but I just felt, I'm like, man, what kind of life is he going to have? I know he's not going to do things he wanted to do, but then I kept telling myself, it's not my job to worry about quality of life. So he was saved. He was back at Walter Reed for about 4 months, and then he got pneumonia and passed away. And so we had his memorial over there. And after the memorial, I pulled a lot of the guys into the aid station. Most guys hung out in the aid station. And I grabbed his trauma chart and I said, hey, man, you know what happened to him? And they're like, yeah, I think he lost a leg. You know, some guys like he lost both legs and an arm. I'm like, he lost both arms, both legs. And I said, so that's one thing. I go, prosthetics nowadays, who knows, man? But I said, what you guys don't know. And I listed some of the other injuries to include he lost his penis and he lost his testicles. That's your manlyhood right there. That's your manhood. And I go, what kind of quality of life would he have had? You know, I wasn't happy he was dead or anything else like that, but I was okay with, to say it that way. And it made him feel better. And then flash forward, I'm in this job and I'm thinking it was kind of shallow. I was like, I don't know. And I was here just a couple months and I had a girlfriend at the time. And I had a couple buddies over the house. And it was after Thanksgiving. There's some whiskey going down and everything. And they told her that story. And then later on that week or somewhere around there, I mentioned to her, I'm like, I don't know about this job. And she goes, what? She goes, you're providing a quality of life for these guys. And I said, well, yeah. She goes, no. She's like, they're feeling better. They're having sex. It's a better marriage and everything. She says, so I can't believe you don't like it. And it smacked. I looked at it a different way. And then she said, those guys told me about what you said about that guy. And I'm like, oh, no shit. So I've looked at it that way now. I really am. We're providing quality of life. And especially for the veteran community, man. We can go into that here in a little bit, but there was a PA, he was an ex-Navy SEAL speaking at the Special Operations Medical Conference about 2 years ago. The title of his lectures was PTSD isn't what's plaguing our boys when they get home. It's low T. And I contacted that dude because I already had that same thought. I'm like, dude, I don't have any evidence behind this, but this is my theory. He said, dude, evidence is coming out. Here it is. Whew. And it is. So highly encourage you, man, get to the VA and, start off at the VA, see if you can get it done through them. If not, go find somebody who can get it done.
Well, let's say that they're close to Colorado and they're looking for exactly what you just described. How can they reach you at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic?
Google Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. I mean, that's the easiest. I've got 5 clinics that I'm responsible for here in the Front Range, all the way from Fort Collins all the way down here to Colorado Springs. We even have one in Podunk, Little Castle Rock. It's going to be open 5 days a week soon, buddy.
That's like the big city for
me. Are you talking trash about the Rock, baby? You don't even know about our hood. You stay out of Douglas County. What's up?
It's because I remember when it was Podunk, man. You're right. But yeah, I think it's really important though that you go and there's a lot of shady clinics out there. And I know, I can sit here and say this, but I can honestly say I would not have been with this organization for 7 years, almost 8, I don't know how to say it. Had they not been as professional as they are, you're not going to get sold a bill of goods. You're not going to get something that you don't need. There's a lot of fly-by-night clinics out there that, one, are giving you stuff you don't need. 2, aren't following you as close as they should follow you. Or 3, doing some illegal stuff. The place you were at earlier, Rob, was doing some stuff that really could have got you in trouble, but if the DEA found out about some of the stuff they were doing, they would be in a little bit of trouble. So, but yeah, and it's just we've got a team of lawyers, we have a team of physicians nationally because we're a national organization as well. Every time we roll into a new place, we just scrub the crap out of the laws because the laws are different state to state to state. So everything we do is on the up and up, and we've got a lot of experts doing it. I've been treating men for their hormones and erectile dysfunction now for over 10 years. I've got guys who've been doing it longer than me in the company. So we really care about getting guys back to being guys. I have a provider. She's a female, and she says a male with a T level below 350 isn't a male. I'm like, you probably shouldn't say that in the room. When you're talking to the patient, it's not too good. But even come from women, dude, when guys get going on their testosterone, it takes a little while for them to get to feeling back. It's not like smoking a joint and going, oh, like right now, hey, I'm buzzed, all of a sudden you're just starting to feel like your old self or something else like that. And so a lot of times I'll have them, when they come back for their first set of labs, a lot of times I'll bring their spouse or significant other, whatever, and they're like, I ask them, I say, what do you think he's doing? Is he doing good? And the guy usually is like, yeah, I'm okay. And the women are like, what are you talking about? No way, man. Because women are dialed into us as dudes, man. There's nothing worse, nothing more I hate than when my girlfriend says, oh, you're having a bad day. I'm like, but they know they're dialed into us. And so I've had women, they say stuff like, that's the dude I married. He's got his machismo back, or I had two women say, it was kind of weird. It was like within a 2-week period too. They both said he carries himself better. And so women like a guy who's confident, right? And happy with himself. And when you start to feel better on the inside, it projects to the outside, And then definitely your libido picks up, the erections get better, and you're chasing a lady around the house. I mean, she's definitely going to realize something's going on. So
one of the things you touched on was the poor mood, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but almost like depression from being low or being in a bad mood, where a lot of people think that using testosterone is what's going to create the, roid rage and all this anger. You want to elaborate on that? I love talking about that.
Yeah, 100%. So here's what I tell people all the time, because most guys are kind of in my age range, Remember that show Married with Children?
Oh, yes. Heck yeah, man. We love it.
Al Bundy has low testosterone. I can tell you that right now, man. That character had low testosterone. He was grumpy, right? When you have low T, you're actually grumpy. When you get it corrected, you're better. Now, if you're juicing like these pro athletes and these, knuckleheads, gym bros and stuff like that do, and it gets super duper high, which some of those cats are taking hundreds of times normal dosages. Yeah, they can get a little irritable. Okay. But when you get put into the normal range, if you weren't an asshole to begin with, you're not going to turn into an asshole because you got more testosterone, right? So it actually levels that mood out, right? And then you got Lil Bundy again. He had Peg, the wife, right? Big old knockers, man. She was always wearing skin tight stuff coming on to him, right? He didn't want to do it. Nope. Had no interest in having sex with his wife, right? Low libido. He had him a pot belly, man. Testosterone's job is to burn body fat and lay down new lean muscle, right? So he's just sitting there on the couch, gets a little pot belly. That's where we as dudes put our fat right there. Rob stored some up here, but he was apathetic, right? He really just didn't give a shit. He had no motivation to get off that couch. His son wanted him to go out and play football all the time, right? He had no motivation to spend any time with his kid. He's all apathetic, didn't care that his daughter was out running around with people, right? That's your low T, dude. I mean, that's it. Boom. If you start feeling like you're Al Bundy, you got low testosterone.
This is why I talked to him.
Yeah. Well,
he just brought it around to Ed O'Neill. I mean, that's
I know.
See, then Ed got his testosterone fixed, and then he was on the other show married to Sofia Vergara. See, that's what happens when you get it fixed, man.
And he's a jiu-jitsu black belt now.
We love Ed O'Neill around here.
All right.
Well, yeah, that was something that I think is misconceived a lot is like when they're like, oh, you're going to get testosterone. Like, if you're low, a lot of the things that you think happen when you take it is what's happening. Life is about being balanced where you're supposed to be, not too high of anything, not too low of anything. So
Ted, I don't want to take up your whole evening. Thank you for coming on the show. So we always end every interview with your moment to shine. So we may have glossed over a question. We may have skipped over something you wanted to talk about. Bradley's in Iraq, whatever it is that you want to talk about. Take the next 2 minutes. The floor is completely yours. You can talk about whatever you want to the veteran community for the next 2 minutes.
So to the veteran community, I would say, seriously, start off at the VA, ask your provider if you can do that, because it's free, right? It's free. Or if you got a primary care provider through TRICARE or whatever, try and get it done there. It's becoming more and more accepted. it was viewed like plastic surgery back in the day, right? People always poo-hooed it like it wasn't real medicine. It's plastic surgery. You're giving a woman fake boobs, or a prisoner in freaking California is getting boobs, right? Now you don't blink an eye when you see a chick with fake boobs, right? It's accepted. It's mainstream. People are starting to accept it. They're also starting to, it's been studied a lot more. And we're realizing now that it really is beneficial. It's just not about you feeling better or feeling younger, right? Back in the day, there was a shitty study done, and it was misinterpreted. But it said the conclusion they came from that was that testosterone caused prostate cancer, which is pretty. Not going to say the R word, but it's not right. I mean, if you think about it, if prostate cancer if testosterone caused prostate cancer, we'd have 18-year-old kids walking around with prostate cancer, right? We don't have that, right? You don't even need to get checked for your prostate checked for cancer until you're 50 years old, okay? So they went back, they reviewed the study. What happens is testosterone is actually very good for your prostate, okay? So if you have low testosterone, your prostate's not healthy. So if you have cancer in there, it's in an unhealthy environment. Even cancer doesn't grow in an unhealthy environment. It's like a plant in dry soil, right? So now you get the extra testosterone, boop, prostate's healthy, you've watered it, right? Now it could go. That's it. It's the only relationship, right? In fact, the studies now are proving the converse, that it actually decreases your chances of prostate cancer, okay? Heart attacks and strokes. The FDA can do whatever the hell the FDA wants. They jumped out there, put a warning on your testosterone that says it may cause heart attacks or may increase your chances of heart attacks and strokes. They went and studied it. They're like, holy crap. It's actually decreasing your chances of heart attacks and strokes, right? What it can do, though, is it can increase the amount of red blood cells you have, especially us here in Colorado. We're already kind of sensitive to that. So if it raises that, if the red blood cell count goes super high, right, like if you're climbing Mount freaking Everest or something like that, right, then those red blood cells can bump against each other, and then they can form blood clots, right? But it's just not happening. It's really not happening. But it's based off of a theory. And then, so those are the things that are out there. And then the roid rage thing, like you said, that's usually a big one. People are like, I don't want to get angry. My wife doesn't want me here. Acne. Most dudes who hit the gym and they start doing this stuff, they're getting dirty testosterone. They're doing like hundreds of times doses, normal dosages. But as far as me practicing with testosterone for 10 years, taking it myself, I could count. I had maybe 7. I was trying to count the other day, 7 cases of acne, and only 2 of those needed an antibiotic to treat it. Otherwise, it's just like, dude, go get some benzoyl peroxide wash. And they're like, oh, okay. And it was good. All right. Nothing crazy, no big cystic acne or anything crazy like them dudes are getting in the gym, But yeah, so I mean, don't be afraid of it. If you do research it, get out there, make sure the research is recent, It's a good thing about the internet is there's all this stuff out there, right? Bad thing about the internet is that all that shit stays out there, right? So just do some research. Check to see if it's within 3 to 5 years. Is it the newer, the more relevant it's gonna be? Is it coming from a reliable source? Don't go listen to the National Enquirer about your testosterone or something like that, right? Or read everything on Wikipedia or whatever. So, but yeah, so that's it. As far as Army goes, don't let Rob Williams into a Bradley in a combat zone. So that's it.
We had so much fun, though.
He's great in a helicopter. I'm just a little worried about him in a Bradley. What's a rollover drill?
I've never even heard of that.
Light infantry. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking to my retired team leader, Ted Snyder, now at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. Reach out to them. Even if you suspect, just go in, walk in, make a phone call, make an appointment, get checked out, find out if that's what's going on with you. It will change your life. Ted, I can't thank you enough for sacrificing your Monday night to stoop down to this radio show. Really appreciate it.
Love you, brother.
Drive fast, homeboy.
All right, man.
Later. So our friend Dana Miller, who's a very loyal listener to the show, says, I keep missing the beginning of the show. Someone please tell me what's up with the boxer shorts. Dana,
boxer shorts.
They're not boxer shorts. These are thigh hugger shorts. You can get yourself a pair of thigh huggers if you go to Thigh Huggers. They are. And you use the code ONESHOT, all one word, and you get a hefty discount from Thigh Huggers. And that makes a donation to us as well and supports About Face Media. And you're helping to put another veteran on the air. So yeah, go check out Thigh Huggers. Most comfy pair of shorts you'll ever own. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. I like a lot of the things Ted had to say.
I do too.
But I can see that Allie is sitting in the green room, and I know she has very limited time these days, and we are very glad to have her. Allie, you think you're about ready?
I think she was
She
born
is.
ready.
She is.
Hi.
Aloysius, what is up, homegirl?
Hi. Can you guys hear me okay?
You sound glorious like Voices of Angels.
Ah.
What's the code? The code is ONESHOT, Holly Miller. ONESHOT. Just all one word, put it together, put in the code ONESHOT. You'll get yourself a 30% discount at Thigh Huggers. Sorry, Al.
That's cool. What's up, fellas? So I had to listen to nothing but testosterone the last 20 minutes. That's cool.
Well, we had to offset. We had like Jewelry Girl a couple of weeks ago. Now we had to have some stuff for the fellas. So you
And I'm glad, and I'm glad people are actually men, well, not people, but men are taking this stuff seriously and understand that like you guys do it to yourselves, okay? You guys do it to yourselves. You can't get out of your own freaking way. You bitch and complain. I'm feeling down. I'm depressed. I'm sad. I'm angry. I can't go here. My wife thinks I'm a bitch. Nobody is harder on yourself than you. I promise. Promise. So that gentleman before me, good on him for spreading the word and making sure that you men take care of yourselves. Because damn, we're not your mamas, but we care. We can't do everything for you.
I believe what you just had was what we call tough love here.
Right.
I've been on this tough love rampage this whole week. Like, I don't know if you guys have been watching my TikToks lately, but
Of course.
I'm just like, I'm over it. I'm just like, I love you guys. I bleed for you guys. My whole adult life is dedicated to the service of veterans, but I'm now understanding that I cannot make the horse drink, right? I can only give you the tools. I can lead you to water. I can tell you what time to drink and where to drink and what water is best, but I can't make you drink. And then veterans get so angry at me that they threaten violence and they threaten, violence against my kids and to rape and tear my throat out because they don't understand the process. They think I'm the raider or, and just if they would just shut the F up for a second and educate themselves on va.gov or a VSO, they would understand the process and not be so angry. I mean, I don't know how else to say it.
I learned when I exited the military 3 years ago and started working with all of these organizations, We Defy, About Face, all these other organizations. One of the things that I learned about, because just like you, I wanted to help every single veteran. I don't care what your problem is. I'm going to give you everything I can to help you as much as I possibly can. And one of the things that I discovered was some of us were assholes before we joined the military. And even though we are a veteran, we have earned certain helps. Some of us are just jerks.
Yep.
And
I say it
I'm
all
so
the
sorry
time.
to hear
Not
that you're getting treated
everybody.
that way.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry to hear you're being treated that way.
Yeah, and it's kind of like damn, like people always say like, the VA sucks, and I get it, which is why I do what I do. And most people will say, thank you, you've helped me, you've done this, you've encouraged me to file this and that. Some people will say, I don't think that's true. I've been out 20 years, and they like want to learn. And then there are these, and I hate the term vet bro, but I literally don't know how else to describe them. They think they know everything. They're cocky. They're assholes. And just because they don't want to file, because they don't want to come to terms with their own bullshit, they don't want to acknowledge that they need help, whether mental or physical, they're discouraging everybody else. Oh, you're a pussy if you file. You're a bitch if you file. Well, those pussies and those bitches are getting their mortgages paid for the rest of their life because they filed the right way. So if you don't want to file, don't file. That is absolutely your right. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. But don't you dare, do not dare tell another veteran not to file because you don't want to come to terms with your own bullshit. That disgusts me.
Allie, you're sounding a little beat up these days. We are really taking a toll on you.
I'm I am, and it doesn't help that like I've my last day off was July 5th and I work weekends overnight and I haven't slept. So and I'm angry. I'm angry and I'm fatigued is what it is. But
you look amazing.
Thanks. I just got out of the shower. Moisturized. No, it just kills me. Like, if you want to learn. If you have questions, absolutely ask questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question most of the time.
Well,
but
I don't know if you see, but our listeners are like, I love this chick. You were started your have a radio show now in Massachusetts, right? Or are you part of another show?
Yep. So it's on AM radio. It's on AM and FM radio. WVB, WBVC, WBVF.
You're just making up letters.
Yeah, it's WBV something. WBVF.
WDIC.
You catch a 9.
Elevator P. Yeah, WBVF. And it's on 1050 AM radio. And we live stream on TikTok and on Facebook. But something happened with the station today. So we didn't broadcast. But the show is called Ask Your Veterans Agent. Michaela Brito, my co-host, has been doing it for a few years. And she's like, I need oomph. I need someone who doesn't give a shit about hurting people's feelings. Oh, me, Mr. Kata. Do you remember that TV show? So
I guess she found a co-host.
Yeah, so she was the VSO. Actually, when I worked for the Commonwealth as a DVOP, Disabled Veterans Outreach Program Specialist, helping disabled veterans get back into the workforce, she was actually one of my clients, and she became a VSO at my prompting. And then, and now she's no longer in the veterans world. But she still does the show, and it's right across from where I work, right across City Hall. And we do the show, 11 to 12. And people are calling in, which they never used to do before. So I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, I just the misinformation, and there's always going to be misinformation. There's always going to be the naysayers. And I know I can't change everybody's mind, but if you would just listen, just watch my videos with an open mind and educate yourself, and like, oh damn, maybe, what do you mean if I'm 100% my kids can go to college for free? What do you mean if I live in Massachusetts and I have a disability percentage, I get property tax abatement? Like, nah. You do.
It's amazing that people don't even recognize the benefits that they have available to them, that they have earned. You are not being given anything.
I know. And
compensation package from your employer.
Exactly.
Right. And I hate the term disability. And I don't know who I need to call. If I got to call Secretary McDonough myself, the VA really needs to change the term disability, because it's not. It's service connection, compensation. Just the definition of compensation is fits. It's not disability. And especially
what is compensation? Not disability.
Right, compensation. Yeah.
Yeah, your comp pen, your compensation and pension. I feel like the community uses the word disability more than even the VA, because they say comp and pen.
Yep. VA professionals will say compensation. I hate the term disability, because the percentage that you are assigned by the VA is not indicative of your level of function. And I'm going to say that again for everybody who is out in, cyberspace land. The percentage of disability that the VA assigns you is not indicative of level of function. So if you have a body, so that means that if you are 70%, 80%, 90, 100%, that does not mean that you are completely incapacitated because you are 100% disabled. That's not it. The VA percentage assigned is for monetary and math purposes only. Has nothing to do with your level of function. Okay.
Love what you just said.
I do too.
I don't know that everyone is going to pick up on the ball that you just dropped, but I love the way you just said that. And some people are like, hey.
Yeah. And they fight like, oh, he didn't deploy and he's 100%. Well, yeah, because he has things in his medical records and he has continuity of care, and maybe he's in mental health, because we know, guys, this is 2023. We've been in this game for how many years now? We all know that disabilities are not all visible, right? Like, My ex-husband has multiple sclerosis. You look at him and he's like this fit and fine ranger. The guy some days can't even walk, can't stand the heat. Sometimes he goes blind. Sometimes he's paralyzed. But looking at him, he's fine. He's completely fine. So stop with that bullshit. Like, one, stop telling people what your compensation is, because like just not everybody is happy for you, right? Not everybody is happy for you. And two, stop comparing your service to other people and your compensation to other people. Like you can't. Disabilities happen, injuries happen, illnesses happen while you serve. You don't need a deployment to file for compensation. True story. You walk into the barracks room after PT because you're like, damn, where's my battle buddy? You open the barracks door and there she is swinging from the rafters. That is traumatic. Okay, that is going to cause some type of anxiety, depression, hypervigilance. Like, that is compensation. The VA is going to compensate you for that shit you just walked into. Okay, so stop with that bullshit about veterans not deploying and they don't deserve compensation. I hate that.
I hear that from veterans more than anybody else, and I'm always like, hey, you didn't choose. You may choose your duty assignment, but you don't choose if your unit's going to deploy or not. And perfectly, like, I was in Hawaii and I was actually on the radio for this, but there was a helicopter collision. Okay. And one of the guys actually his kids ended up down the road as my students in Parker, Colorado. And we're talking about it. So just because, and I think he actually did deploy at one point, but his major injuries are from this helicopter collision stateside.
Right.
Does that mean he can be compensated for his injuries because he wasn't in a combat zone? The only thing that do the combat zone injuries is a fucking Purple Heart. And I think most of us understand that. There's somebody out there
that'll be annotated on your DD 214 if you have a Purple Heart. Anyone that doesn't, it will be on your DD 214.
Right.
You said it like 10 times for that.
Sorry.
So, has anybody heard from him
that
like, we do not speak of?
When other veterans are like down themselves because they didn't deploy, like nobody says, I'm deployable. No, I'm not deployable. You know what I mean? Like your unit decides that. One of the times I moved units specifically because I thought I was going to deploy faster, and they ended up going on this 3-year kick of like a certification to restructure the unit, and so I didn't get to deploy for three years. What if a new private came into that? We had lots of them. It wasn't their fucking choice. Like they went to the restructure. They got 3.5 years before they get to deploy. I like being downrange.
Yeah,
it's fun.
All right, yeah. You wouldn't wish on anyone else, but
I wouldn't wish on anybody else.
Sure, so go step forward.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. But it's just like the whole like the hatred and the fighting within the veterans community is just, it needs to stop. And I hate the whole like 22 push-ups a day for my brothers. Yeah, but the same guy who's doing the 22 push-ups on TikTok and Facebook is the one telling the other veterans, Kuwait's not a deployment, go kill yourself. Like, what the hell, dude? Shut up. Stop it. Like, are you so insecure? Are you so miserable as a civilian that you got to tell other veterans to kill themselves because Kuwait's not a deployment? Like, that shit, like,
I don't understand it. No one hates a veteran as much as another veteran, and I don't understand why. Yeah,
that's a good point. You're right.
Not like hold you accountable way like he does, but like just being mean. I don't want to see your success because it's a reflection of how I lack it.
Correct. Like I saw a meme. It was the day before yesterday, and it made me laugh. And it was like it was a veteran at the top, and it says, whenever I get called a pogue, and then on the bottom is a woman with holding like cash, and she's like crying in marketable skills. And I thought that was hilarious because it's always the infantry guys are like, oh, you're pogue. Ugh. Yeah, but I can go out into the real world and do anything. So
it's amazing. Allie, first of all, we got a lot of extra time from you tonight, which I sincerely appreciate. But now you're kind of stuck as we come to the end of the show. And
what am I stuck at?
We can't let you go.
We can't let you go yet.
Why can't you let me go?
Because
now that's the end of the show.
We're at the end of the show, and now it's time for the safety brief.
So you got to close out with this.
Oh, I've never done this before, you guys. Okay.
So
you want me to close out?
You only have to come up with one thing. We each come up with a thing. So you don't have to do it the entire safety brief on your own.
Yeah.
But if you have more than one item, it's totally fine. We'll take more than one line item. She has 2 good ones. One of them we're just going to count as mine.
I love what
They're like mediocre. Then I'll see if
I
I can
missed
do it.
that. Okay, what do you need from me?
So check it out. So normally in the military, we are always strapped with our goat. We're always ready. So the safety brief. It used to be when you were in the military that Friday before you got cut loose before end of the formation for the weekend.
Yep, don't kill yourself. Don't add to population. Don't detract from the population. Don't do anything stupid. Don't drink and drive. Use a condom. Yeah.
Look who made it to E5 at least once.
Actually, I made it to specialist twice. Don't tell anybody.
Remember, this is Monday, not Friday. So
Yes.
this entire week, and then to get you through the weekend until you get to let us remind you next Monday. So
Get
you
it?
want to do the first one?
Absolutely. Hey, our nation is locked in summertime. It is summer right now. It is hot. It is really hot. Hydrate, folks. I realize this is the most medic freaking safety brief I could possibly give. But folks, I know you think you're drinking enough water. You're consuming. You're not. Get yourself a little bit of Gatorade. Get yourself some water. Folks, you have to hydrate, especially if you're working outside. Get yourself as well hydrated as you possibly can. Watch your pee. It's got to be clear.
Guilty. I don't drink enough water.
I'll stay on your heat thing. Hey, how many days have we lost from soldiers being able to soldier up because of a sunburn? Hey, put some sunscreen on if you need to. And if you don't think you need to, you probably still need to. It's hot. It's sunny. Be able to be combat effective tomorrow.
You're a civilian now. Get yourself that ridiculous looking cowboy hat so that you can mow the lawn and not get a sunburn on the top of your head.
Fun of me and my cowboy hat?
No, sir. I wear a hat now to mow the lawn because of that gigantic. Look at that freaking surface area right there, man.
Yeah.
Allie, what you got for the safety brief for the week?
If you are going to drink, please drink responsibly. Have a designated driver. Those of you who are drinking to forget your problems, when you finish that bottle, your problems are still going to be there. Okay, just keep that in mind.
Well, that's getting us close to the end of the show. Allie, do you want to tell us anything about that sweet-ass motorcycle you posed with the other day before we cut loose for the rest of the day?
That was my. Did you like that? I was like, now, and I never understood why people pose with their bikes. I'm like, that's dumb. And then I'm like, hey, I'm feeling kind of sexy right now. I just got back from a ride. I'm going to pose with my motorcycle. And I did. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. But
good-looking machine.
I'm sorry?
Good-looking machine.
Thank you. Yeah, and she's not as fast as, some of her buddies, but, I'm still working on it. But I'm terrified of the slide, right? Like road rash just kind of just gives me like, rah. So what do you guys use for protective wear on your legs? Do you use like Kevlar pants? Do you use chaps? I feel like assless chaps are there. I feel like
all of my 20s, my developmental. I mean, I've been riding since I was a little kid, motocross, and I had bikes before I even joined the Army. But my developmental years are in my 20s in the Army. I was stationed in Hawaii.
Oh,
flip flops, board shorts, and maybe a shirt.
Oof.
So
I have to wear a shirt because society frowns on boobies. So
no, they don't. No, they absolutely do not. That is a fallacy, and whoever's telling you that is lying. Read the boobies. Love the show, Antoine. Oh, thank you very much, Antoine. I wear a set of full climb pants, like nylon ballistic pants. I do own some Kevlar jeans and stuff like that. After the show, I'll text you. I'll get your sizes. I run a gear locker for veterans that I have a shit ton of like jeans and Kevlar jeans and lots of women's riding gear that I'm looking for somebody to give a home to.
Yeah, and holy shit, can we talk about $269 for a pair of like tough leggings?
I got you.
I do have. I said, I ride kind of hard sometimes where I'm in shorts and flip flops, but I do have some chaps. I'm telling you, that does all you needed to.
Well, that's the show, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank you enough for listening tonight to From the Ashes on About Face Media. Go support our sponsors, including Combat Flip Flops. Use the code ABOUTFACE. You'll get 30% off of your flippity floppities, and we get 15% of that as well. Allie, I can't thank you enough for finishing up the show with us tonight.
I appreciate it.
Hey, folks, Be nice to each other. Stop it. Stop beating
Real.
each other up. We're a
Please.
small community. Unless your name is Joel Hunt, stop beating other. You deserve to get your ass kicked. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for being a part of From the Ashes. Have a great rest of your week. Love having you there.